Take a look at these two groups of words. By pure word count, because she was tired looks like it contains more data, yet the shorter grouping on the right is a structurally sound sentence, while the longer grouping on the left fails the test of completeness. The left side fails its structural integrity check. The error triggers on the word because, a word that prevents it from standing alone. To understand why one group works and the other doesn't, we have to look at the foundational unit of all English sentence architecture, the clause. A clause isn't defined by its length or how much information it conveys. To qualify as a clause, a group of words must meet two specific mechanical requirements. Mastering complex English requires moving past the instinct of what sounds right. Syntax is a rule-based engineering system, and writing with precision starts with recognizing its core components. This diagram illustrates the first required component, the subject. It acts as the structural base, or the primary actor within the grammatical unit. The second component is the verb. As it locks into the subject, it acts as the functional engine that provides an action or a state of being to the base frame. These two elements share a strict mechanical dependency. To form a complete system, the engine must be connected to the base. Any grouping of words that lacks this specific interlocking subject-verb pair cannot operate as a clause. This solid boundary box represents an independent clause. Because it has a subject, a verb, and a completed meaning, it is fully autonomous and can stand alone as a sentence. But an internal engine isn't always enough for autonomy. A dependent clause contains that same subject-verb pairing, but it fails to deliver a complete thought. The mechanism of failure lies in subordinating words. Adding the word when acts as a system override, suspending the clause's autonomy and breaking the boundary box. English uses dozens of these triggers, including because, although, and if. Once one of these words is attached, the thought is left hanging. Dependent clauses function like structural parasites. Despite having their own internal mechanics, they require attachment to an independent host to be grammatically viable. This relationship allows for functional modularity. Entire dependent clauses can be compressed to act as a single part of speech. In this example, the noun clause that she is honest compresses into a single block. It occupies the same slot as a standard noun, acting as the object of the verb know. Specific relative pronouns serve as the connecting joints for these modules, words like that, what, who, whether, and if. Noun modularity allows writers to insert abstract, complex ideas into standard grammatical slots without disrupting the sentence's primary architecture. The adjective clause is a dependent module designed to attach directly to a noun. As shown here, it allows the writer to define the precise parameters of the subject. These clauses use relative pronouns like who, whose, which, and that as physical attachment points to anchor the description to the noun. While a standard adjective provides a single detail, like the fast boy, an adjective clause increases information density by using an entire action, who won the race, to provide description. Adjective clauses offer a mechanism for precision. They allow you to define subjects specifically without needing to start an entirely new sentence. The adverb clause is a module that dictates the timing, causality, or conditions of the main action. Notice how this clause anchors directly to the verb stayed. These modules are triggered by specific categories of words, those dealing with time, cause, condition, or contrast. Swapping different adverb clauses changes the underlying logic of the independent main frame. Changing because it was raining to although it was raining reverses the relationship between the event and its cause. Without these modules, independent sentences lack context. Adverb clauses provide the why, when, and how necessary for analytical writing. To maintain clarity, we must distinguish between clauses and phrases. A phrase is simply a group of words that lacks the subject-verb engine. Compare these two groupings. On the left is a time-based phrase. On the right, a time-based dependent clause. If we run a structural inventory on the phrase, it returns 0 engines. There is no subject performing an action. When we sweep the dependent clause, the counter detects both a blue subject and an orange verb. The engine is present, even if the thought is incomplete. Misidentifying a phrase as a clause prevents you from balancing your syntax. When you treat a phrase as a sentence, the result is a fragment, a structural error that leaves the reader without a complete thought. The parsing algorithm is a repeatable system for deconstructing text. Step 1. isolate the subject. Step 2, isolate the verb. Step 3 splits the text to see which parts express complete ideas. Step 4 classifies the resulting dependent and independent frames. Using this systematic approach removes the guesswork from reading and writing. It allows you to deconstruct even the densest information into its base components. This helps us avoid the most common failure in professional writing, isolating a dependent module as if it were a full sentence. Because this grouping starts with a subordinating word, it creates a grammatical vacuum, leaving the reader waiting for a resolution. We resolve the error by anchoring the orphaned module to an independent frame, confirming the sentence is structurally sound. Ultimately, English syntax operates as a complex hierarchical system that is built securely upon independent frames and embedded functional modules. Mastering this modular architecture, the syntactic engine, allows you to move past simple sentences. It provides the mechanical foundation required to build layered, technically sound prose.